Broken Age is a point-and-click adventure developed and published by Double Fine, initially split into 2 acts, with the first coming in January 2014 and the second in April 2015. It was shortly followed by the full game being released for all major systems. A throwback to the point-and-click games of old, Broken Age is a smart, fun and funny game that will delight as many as it will infuriate. Infuriate as it is the kind of puzzles that often seem so random, but that feeling when you solve a particularly tricky one is so gratifying. The story is split into 2 parts, one that surrounds 2 very different teenagers living 2 very different lives. We have Vela, voiced by Masasa Moya, who lives in a small village called Sugar Bunting in a place called the Badlands. Every 14 years, her village and the surrounding villages are visited by giant creatures known as Mogs. To appease these creatures and ensure they don't destroy the villages, several teenage girls are offered up as sacrifices to the Mogs. This all takes place at an event called the Maiden Feast and sees the girls vie to be taken by the Mog. It is an honour as it seems, although Vela doesn't quite see it that way. She is one of the chosen girls for her village to be offered up as sacrifice, and the cavalier way this horrific event is carried out isn't sitting well. She doesn't agree with it, and figures if she can kill the Mog, she can stop the Maiden's Feast once and for all. The other part of the story is based around Shay, voiced by Elijah Wood, the only seemingly living passenger of the spaceship Bossa Nostra. His mundane life is controlled by 2 AIs, one more dominant than the other. The dominant one is named Mom and treats Shay like her son, her infant son. She suffocates Shay, constantly checking up on him and making him take part in childish missions.
Especially because he's so predictable. Doesn't anyone have any ideas? If only we could wake up the bridge man.
Wake up, bridge man!
We're saved.
Both Mom and the other AI, Dad, constantly remind Shay that she is overprotected because he is the last of his race after his planet, Laruna, was destroyed. The ship he is in is trying to find a new home for him. All of this is called into question though when Shay meets a wolf named Marek in the bowels of the ship.
Where's my little angel? Oh, there he is. I think I almost lost you today. Sleep tight, little hero.
Man, computers are stupid. Whoa. How have I never seen this part of the ship before? You came.
The 2 characters, Shay and Vela, seem completely unconnected at first, but as the story plays out, their lives are more intertwined than anyone could have realised. What a wonderful game Broken Age is, especially if you grew up on a diet of Monkey Island, Grim Fandango, Broken Sword and point-and-click games in general. The gameplay is as traditional as you can get. Move a cursor around the screen to direct the character to move, interact with objects, pick up items and talk to other characters. Where it breaks tradition is the ability to switch between characters, Vela and Shay at any time. Unconnected at first, later in Act 2, switching between them is necessary to complete some tough puzzles. It's a clever mechanic, seamlessly done, and the separate stories mean when the paths do eventually cross, it feels way more important. Of course, getting to that point will require effort, a lot of effort, as Broken Age is a wide variety of puzzles that tax your brain. Some simple, some devious as hell. Broken Age is not an easy game, in fact parts of Act 2 are difficult to the point of annoyance. It is Act 2, that probably deserves the most criticism too. Whereas Act 1 is a wild ride of wonderful locations imagined in the game's gorgeous art style with a fast-moving story, Act 2 is slower. Not only that, but it repeats a lot of the same locations, doesn't have the same sense of wonder, and has a disappointing resolution. It pains me to say that, as I really love this game, and point-and-click games in general. It really is a wonderful experience and takes classic gameplay and gives it an updated feeling. The story is excellent, is often funny, but also has a deep and serious side that makes for a compelling play. It just seems to lose its way in the final quarter, rushing towards an end that doesn't feel earned. A shame, but still a very recommended play.